So first Audi were featured on the channel, Taylor. Yours is a bit of a rare one, isn't it?
It is. It's B7 RS4.
Yeah.
So only 202 sold in Australia.
So what year is this?
This is an 07.
Yep.
So they made these from 06 to 08. And yeah, this is an 07 model in the Sprint blue paintwork, which is pretty rare itself as well. So
Yeah, I thought it was like a pastel blue, but I noticed just before when the sun came out, it's actually got a metallic in it.
Yeah, it does. It's got a nice metallic. It sort of glows in the sun, which is beautiful colour.
And they made this in that's I know these from the wagons. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
always that you want a wagon, you buy an RS4.
Yeah, wagons more rare. I think they were 92, 93 sold in Australia. So
This is sort of, I mean, it's got all the, if you like older, if you like what all drive, it's got a V8 and a manual.
yeah.
I mean, what can you buy now?
Well, that's it. That's the last of the kind. So I guess that's why they're a special car in my eyes, and a lot of others as well. So.
Yeah. Was this something you were chasing, or was it just popped up, or?
Popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. A colleague of mine owned it. He sort of mentioned he wanted to sell it. I kept sort of pestering him a little bit, and eventually we got there, made a deal, and yeah, I bought it with the intention of sort of having it as an investment, just driving it on the weekends.
Yep.
But ended up driving it as a daily now. Sort of fell in love with it. So gets driven, to and from work. And
Is this your first performance car? Have you had other things before this, or?
yeah, I've gone through a fair few cars.
Yep.
Started with Subarus, WRX, STI. I was telling you earlier, I had a Liberty Spec B GT wagon.
Oh,
Which was a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then I had a Renault Megane RS250, which was pretty tuned up. Ended up blowing up an engine.
Yeah.
And then replaced the engine, and then bought this.
Yeah.
And yeah, just planning to keep this more as a weekender.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I started driving, I just fell in love, and now it's my daily. So
Really?
yeah.
The first giveaway obviously is these number plates, mate. Now, obviously this thing isn't stock, is it?
No, it's not stock. It's got a Apr Supercharger
Yep.
kit fitted to it. So yeah, it bumps the power and torque up a fair bit, which is nice. Because standard they're 414 horsepower.
And these are a 4.2, yeah?
4.2 V8, yeah. And now with this kit, this is the 1320 kit, the smaller kit Apr released. It's about 590, 600 horsepower.
For a bolt-on, I guess, supercharger system, the engine bay looks fantastic.
Yeah, they've done a really good job.
Very nice job.
Yeah, it sort of looks, I guess if you didn't know what you're looking at, semi-stock, I guess.
They always do these airbox systems, look beautiful.
Group M, however you say it. Yeah, it makes it sound a little bit nicer.
So for people who aren't too familiar with superchargers, this is what you call an inverted supercharger. So the intercooler system's on the top here. You can see the two cores there, your blowers underneath. And here, obviously, this is direct injection. There's no rail. You can see the direct injection set up there.
So good and a bad thing. These engines, being direct injection, do get choked up with carbon on the inlet valve. So just part of the maintenance every 2-3 years to get the intake manifold off, in this case the supercharger, and they sort of blast
In the
it.
old days, if you had carbon build-ups in your car, all it meant was you took it for a 30-minute fang and got the thing like boiling hot, and it was usually fine after that. But new cars are a bit more complicated.
Definitely.
I noticed how far forward, I mean this is a regular trait on Audis, how far forward the engine sits versus the front wheels.
It is a bit of a bummer, but that's a Quattro system for you. People do track them. I've never taken it to the track.
Hey, this is too nice to take to the track.
It's more just the cruiser, really.
So I think you were saying this is predominantly rear-wheel drive?
Yeah, so 60-40, 60% power to the rear, 40 to the front.
And you can't change that, it's just locked?
Constant, constant. So it's last of that Quattro system really that does that. So yeah, it handles really good, and you can still get the rear out, which is a bit of fun. So yeah.
So 6-speed gearbox, are they pretty strong in these, I'd assume?
Yeah, I haven't heard of anyone having issues with them. Obviously with the increase in power, you have to upgrade the clutch.
Do you know what this weighs, the car, as it
1650.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit more now because the kit weighs, I don't know, 20, 30 kilos or whatever. But
it's not something you'd want to be clutch dumping in too often, would you? You'd,
yeah, no, you wouldn't want to.
The car wouldn't like that. Heavier all-wheel drive cars usually aren't too forgiving in that department. One thing I have picked up on here, let's look at this, LS throttle body. This is essentially
that's it.
The same throttle body you'd find on a GM.
GM LS2, so part number's 12570790.
Gee, Taylor knows his stuff, doesn't he?
The Audi one is known to fail. you'll get a code for a throttle position sensor. And Audi want 4 or 5 grand for the throttle body. But
really,
call your GM dealer, quote that part number. It's an upgraded part number now, but they'll get you on the right track. And
auto scale to your local wreckers.
yeah,
Let's grab one.
so it's LS2 silver blade. You can't use the gold blade one.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
This year marks the 25th year that we have been behind the cameras, and to celebrate we have a fresh new merch design available for pre-order. Grab your track gear from shop.fullboost.com.au.
So I noticed the factory red line's at 8. Does it actually, like...
Yeah, so A250,
Gee.
I'm pretty sure. So it makes power all the way up until that point.
Okay.
Sort of forward drive.
Yeah, it's not too loud though, is it?
Nah, with the windows up, it's reasonable. Still have a conversation.
Mm.
As soon as you crack them though, especially the rear windows, it's yeah, a lot louder.
So has this still got, I don't know much about the tuning side on these cars, is this just flash tuned or
Yeah,
like still
so
OE style? Yeah.
pretty much. The kit comes with APR software,
Yeah.
so you just flash the stock ECU.
And what sort of boost are you seeing with this, with the smaller blower?
Smaller blowers, 6.5,
Yep.
7 PSI, depending on conditions. There's guys that have upgraded the pulley. They don't actually make one, but you can get one machines.
Yeah.
And it brings the power up, you know, with water meth as well, another 40, 50 horsepower or something. So
you touched on earlier, APR did sell a 1740 blower.
1740,
for this.
yeah, that's the second kit they made, which is a bit bigger. I'd love to get my hands on it, but even this kit is discontinued.
Yeah.
They didn't make too many, I don't think.
I'd have to think you'd have to be buying this second hand now, wouldn't you? A kit?
Yeah, if you can.
I'm
yeah.
assuming the 1740 probably packages exactly the same.
Yeah, it's
It
just
would look identical?
the intake manifold is a bit higher.
Bit higher.
But yeah, essentially it looks the same.
Yeah, it fits in there really nice. So apart from that, the cars, these cars were pretty awesome out of the factory in terms of what they put on them. You've got, these have massive brakes, yeah?
Yeah, it's got the 8 pots, yeah, big discs. The same as the Lamborghini Gallardo actually. So what else have I done? I've put coilovers on it because the car normally has DRC suspension. They tend to leak. It's run by hydraulic fluid and all the pipes leak. So a lot of us guys just get rid of it completely. Yeah. Put coilovers.
Yeah.
So it's got
It's
K3.
really cheaper, isn't it? To do that?
Yeah. KW V3s on it at the moment.
Yeah, they're a nice looking wheel.
Yeah.
On a factory car, and you were saying you got spaces because that rear tyre sits perfect on the back there, the stance of it.
As I lowered it, the wheels obviously sunk in, so I just put 10mm spaces just to push them back out now.
One thing I noticed earlier, Taylor, is how nice these seats look.
Yeah,
They're a horny looking seat. Look at
Recaro wingbacks.
Yep.
Yeah, very comfortable. They've got the inflating bolsters.
Yeah.
So when we push the sport button, they actually sort of hug you.
Oh wow.
So yeah, they're a nice seat, very sought after. Not all models had them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming they would be pretty pricey to get another one.
Anything with an RS badge on.
I know.
The steering wheel as well, flat bottom. I think all models in Australia got that, but overseas they didn't. There was only certain specs.
I love the gauges. They're so analog looking. They're very similar to like a Porsche gauge, the font and everything on them.
Yeah, old school. I guess it's the whole theme of the car. It's all pretty analog still.
It looks like a real driver's cockpit.
It does, yeah. It's nothing fancy, but it does the job, that's for sure.
So are you looking at maybe doing anything else to this? I mean, there's not really... You were saying maybe a water meth kit later on, but...
Yeah, water meth, smaller pulley. I'd love to get it all repainted.
Yeah.
And get it protected with like a PPF film. But other than that, not really. It's sort of a pretty good package at the moment.
They're pretty good out of the factory though, aren't they, obviously?
Yeah, like 414 horsepower standard, which isn't, I guess back then in 2006, it's nearly 100 horsepower per litre, so not too bad.
And I was under the impression that these V8s are a bit more reliable than some of the other car makes of that era. Like I know the BMWs had a few.
Yeah, BMWs, you know, have all sorts of issues.
Like bottom end bearing issues, and I've seen a few people have, but
and all their valve timing problems. But this one, they did a similar V8 in the S4. Which had a lot of timing timing chain issues. Which thankfully they rectified in this one. So timing chains and guides isn't an issue. The main thing is just carbon cleaning, really.
Yeah.
Just treat that as a 2-3 year maintenance item. A few gaskets go bad. I mean, it's what, 15 plus years old now, so you sort of expect that.
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty. I go in lots of cars, and like this is pretty tight for a car that's 15 years old.
If you treat them right, I could change the oil pretty much every 5,000 Ks. Put 10W60 in it, so it's
Okay, this is 1060, oh yeah.
1060, so quite a heavy oil. Just because of the higher heat, it runs quite hot. Even oil temps, you know, it's not unusual to see them 110-ish.
Okay.
So yeah, I got recommended to use a thicker oil. Change that every 5,000 Ks or so. But other than that, it's been good.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for showing us your Audi RS4, mate, because I've never actually had a close look at one, let alone gone for a ride in one, so it's been great.
No problems. Thanks for having me on.